Welcome back to another episode of Singapore's Real Estate Explained, brought to you by the investment team.
And today, we're going to bring to you a hint here. We're dressed in blue.
Our background.
In blue too. So,
And
we're
our
going to come out
dressing.
Meyer Blue.
Another District 15 new launch. Seems like District 15 has been quite a hot area. And I think it's one that, being in the Meyer area, a lot of people are also anticipating it. Because usually Meyer condos have the sea view that people like, or they get the really unblocked landed view also.
Yeah, in fun fact, it used to be the old rich place where merchants gather there, all the rich people there. So it's actually well known to be a place of the old rich. And that's why, in terms of Meyer is also tied to a prestige. That's why people are anticipating this launch, like what happened for Meyer Mansion.
Yeah, because when we talk about District 15 as a whole, District 15 is quite big. So there's like different areas where some areas like Meyer and Bar a little bit more atas. And then you have like where Grand Diamond Dakota is.
Yes, which is more towards the north of District 15. Then after that, you have Siglap towards the I say the east side of District 15 that is still decent. Yeah, so this Meyer area is really the cream of the crop, the top plots that people are looking for. So that's why definitely there'll be interest, but let's see how did the launch go and how exactly do we analyze the property here.
Yeah, but before we start, we are just going to put our Telegram channel over here. So you can scan the QR code for any of our upcoming new launch videos, any of the news. And we also have like promo codes from our partners also.
Yes, and also for WhatsApp, okay, if you want to contact any of our investment consultant to do a portfolio review, you can also contact us and the WhatsApp QR code right below.
Yep, and last but not least, we actually have something new that we've teamed up and took a lot of time to actually compile this new launch review that we also put a QR code over here. So they can kind of scan. And over there, we have close to about 100 of the new launches, when they're going to be launching, where they are exactly, what's the estimate launch price, all in this guide. So if you're interested to get it, just scan the QR code.
And most important, this will be kept throughout the video so you all can actually stay tuned and we hope to value to you in the long-term run. And also, in terms of our track record for our investment clients, we've already passed 400 plus, transacted with them, and they're looking at healthy profits on average about 19.84% per annum annualized gains. And this is something that we are very excited to share more how we analyze properties. And if you want to find out more, do contact any of our brokers, and we're more than happy to share with you our investment philosophy.
And thank you so much for those that took the time out to leave us our reviews, because we finally hit 100 reviews. I think the last time we were about 90 plus. Yeah, so thank you to all our clients who actually took the time out to leave us one.
Yes, and have always sold over 2,000 homes. Okay, with 80% and record PSF. That's something that we are more than happy. So you want to find out more how we sell homes at high price?
Sold It video.
Sold It series. All right. So next, let's jump into the project today.
Yep.
So Grace, can you bring us through?
So for Meyer Blue itself is in District 15. This is a freehold project with 226 units. So not a mega development, but also not those small boutique development that you see a lot in District 15. And it's actually a joint venture both by Singapore Land and also UOL.
So they're quite well known to do like iconic projects, like with decent layout. And in fact, the last launch that came out in Meyer area is Meyer Mansion, which our dear friend, my good brother for 17 years.
Right beside Meyer Blue. So if you have to buy Meyer Blue, become Jarvis' neighbor.
Yes. And fun fact, he's collecting keys today.
Yeah, like right now actually.
Right now, at this moment of time. So remember, say hi and say congrats to him for collecting keys. Alright, next let's run through the projects that are done by developers, okay? So you can take a look. There are a few projects, okay? The first one that's done by UOL, okay, is Amber 45.
Yep.
So they have done projects in this area before, followed by Avenue Side Residence, which is a total sold out, and basically it is one of the places where the entire scenery, the sea view is amazing over there. Okay, but right now, fun fact, they're actually going through a termite problem.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess sometimes unlucky thing happens. Okay, and the last time they did something that closed CBD areas, also V on Shantam.
In District 1.
District 1, which very nice layout, very iconic kind of building. But what we see over here is sort of like shows that they do have track record when it comes to building developments as such. All right?
Okay, so the next question is whether this plot of land is going to be under the area harmonization that we always talked about.
And yes, it's important because it does determine what exactly is the launch price that will be coming out. So there's a question mark, in fact. Very interesting. I'll share with you why. It's because area harmonization effects for government land sale that is after September 2022, which is very easy to trace. Government land sale where they bought at a date, you can just look at it. Okay, but for projects like this, because Meyer Blue is actually came from this particular unblocked of Meyer Park. And for unblocked, it's a little special. Okay, it's based on the date where you submit your URA plans, your floor plans. So if it's submitted after 1st of June 2023, okay, then it's under area harmonization. If it's submitted before, it's not. And if you look at Meyer Blue itself, okay, it is bought on 10 February 2023. So why is the question? Because it really depends on whether developer submit it before 1st June 2023.
Chop submit, or they delete and take their time.
Yes, so it really depends by then. So that's why we actually created two different tables. One is without area harmonization, the other is with area harmonization. So with this, let's dive into the numbers. Grace, can you bear us through?
Yeah, so I think if you were to take without area harmonization, the break even will be about 2,722. That being said, means if developer launch at this price, they won't make and they don't lose, but usually they do it at profit margin. So let's say we look at profit margin of, let's say 10%, it's already close to 3,000. 15 will be about 3,1, 20 about 3,2-ish, and then 25 at 3,4. Okay, so if to go to the next one, which is with area harmonization, if you to go back to our area harmonization video, we roughly estimate the increase in break even to be about 7% if, let's say, the plot of land were to be under area harmonization, because then developers will kind of lose out on the previous profits that they could have made from AC ledgers. So if you were to include the 7%, then the break even goes to about 2.9, bringing the average launch price, if it's at 10%, to be about 3.2, 15 to be about 3.3, 20 about close to 3.5,
wow.
and 25 close to about 3.6.
Yeah, it could be close to CBD prices even for some of the like Newport, etc.
Yeah.
But one thing to take note is developers, they want to make profit.
Yeah.
So they will definitely try to submit. It will rush architect.
So in your opinion, what do you think the launch price would be?
Honestly, without. Because it's something that developer, by hook by crook, they have 4 months to do things, they will just settle it in 2 months. And that's what they have to do in order to, because it's a lot of money. 7% is not just 1 million, 2 million, it's a few tens of millions. Yeah, so there's something to take note.
So what do you think like the break-even margin will be for this Meyer Blue?
Honestly, I would think about 10 to 15.
10 to
That's
15?
usually what developers are looking at right now. So about 3,000 to 3.1 to 3.2. That's something that people are still going to take, which we'll share later on where we get the numbers from.
Okay. So some background on the plot of land. Meyer Blue was initially Meyer Park that actually got unblocked. And they didn't actually succeed on the first 2 attempts. It was only on the 3rd attempt that they actually succeeded. And they originally had, I think it was 60 plus units, right? For the development itself.
Correct.
And now I think the developers have redeveloped to be about 200 plus, which is what usually developers want to do when they are looking out for plots, right? Because that's how they actually profit from it. So they usually want to increase the number of units that they can actually build on the plot of land.
Yeah, and fun fact, why previously Meyer Park took 3 attempts is because they saw Meyer mention, hey, I said it wasn't moving, and it was a new benchmark of prices. So they're not confident to go through the unblock based on the price that was listed in the market. Until Meyer mention was fully sold, that was when they said, okay, I think finally the price had caught up and it's time to unblock. Yeah. So there's something to take note. And location-wise, as I mentioned just now, is a prestige Meyer area. So if you understand about the background of Meyer, as I mentioned, it's a rich man area. And a lot of
people drive.
People drive.
Last time we don't even have the Katong Park or the Tanjung Katong MRT, but prices in the area have been quite strong.
Yes.
Okay, so for location-wise, like what we mentioned, most of the Meyer area, you get the sea view because usually there's nothing in front of you already at the edge of the before the sea, right? So that's when you get the unblocked views. And before Tanjung Katong MRT is actually up, as well as Katong Park MRT, there isn't any MRT over there, but the prices have been quite strong. I would say because most people that actually stay there, they usually drive. So I would say this is a bonus when the MRTs actually came up in the area itself.
Yes. And in terms of schools-wise, interestingly, there's no school that's within 1 km within Meyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best is within 2 km.
1 to 2.
1 to 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So Tanjung Katong, Kong Hua, these are all within 2 km. And then the rest of the primary school, yes, put it there. Maybe, but most of them are actually out of the 2 km.
Yeah, but if you guys are buying for school, usually Singaporeans are a little bit more kia, so they're going to buy the 1 km.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they buy within the 1 km from Town Line, for example. The secondary school is a typical Chung Ching, Tanjung Katong, Damen. International school is Canadian International School. Yeah, so it's quite standard. Okay. And one thing we have to really highlight, people may not know about, is that there is an East Coast plan coming out in this area, which is other words called Long Island Plan.
Yeah.
So fun fact, they're going to do a reclamation of the land, okay, build a reservoir in the middle of it, and most importantly, integrate new housing. So this, fun fact, it will take about at least 10 to 15 to 20 years to
Long
construct.
term. It's a long term plan, not something in the short term.
And one thing to take note is, for reclaimed land to settle down, it takes about 20 years. And before they start building. But one thing you have to take note, because it's right in front of a Meyer area, okay, the view will be blocked in the future. So for those who are buying in front of the sea view facing and hope that long time you enjoy the sea view.
Maybe you're enjoying for the next 5 years.
Yeah, next 5 years.
Or 10 years.
Or
maybe.
10 years maybe. So these are all things that you have to take note. That's why when we selected unit at Meyer Mansion for Jervis, it was actually towards a landed enclave that's permanent, unblocked. Okay, rather than those that face the sea, which can be blocked. Okay. And next thing upcoming, which is very exciting, is the new gardens, the New Bay East Garden, which will open another part of Gardens by the Bay. And that's when this will create a new kind of recreation space for city skyline views. City skyline view that will create another hype, another transformation in the area.
Yep. So this is the potential views you'll get depending on like which stacks you're getting into, right? So you either get like the highway facing seaside or the other side, which is the landed view. So it depends. Some people like a fixed view for long term, then they'll choose like the landed side. Some people, if let's say short term, they want to enjoy like sea view, which you don't really get in many areas in Singapore, then a sea view may be something that you may choose.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so let's move on to the new launch price comparison. If you were to look at the freehold developments that just launched, I would say there's one called Continuum, all the way higher up, not really too much on the Meyer and Bay area.
So it's not really a direct comparative because the location is not the best, but this is the best we can actually find to have a proper comparative to Meyer Blue area.
Yeah, if not, the closer one would then be Leaf at MB, but this one would be a 99-year-old development. So also not a direct comparison, but it just kind of show what prices would be in like the area itself if it was to be a 99.
And indeed, and just something interesting, Leaf MB is already fully sold. Yeah, so there's something.
It's kind of hot project.
Means the demand you can see in Otter Road, in Meyer area, is actually one of the top choice. So I won't be surprised. I mean, although the price can be high, people will come and snap because they just love Meyer. And the price, if you look at later on comparatively to the resale, to the new launch, it seems like decent. Yeah, so there's something that I believe the developer will play on this margin to hook more buyers in. But is it worth considering? That's something that we can take a look later on.
Okay.
And you can see this is quite evident in terms of demand-wise, and Otter Road area, Leaf and MB sold over 75% of the units on launch weekend.
Just like Lantau mentioned, 75%.
Yes. And why so? Because this area layout is great, location is amazing, and people just love Meyer, love Otter. And that's also the time when Meyer Mansion was actually bought by Jervis because we were like, hey, this 99-year price is the same as freehold. So why not consider Meyer Mansion, which is a Meyer? So this is a waste of price, and it's very fast because after that, Meyer Mansion started to move very quickly. Yeah. And currently it's 100% sold. Yeah, that's why Meyer Blue is like right now, when launched, they say, hey, I think there's demand, let's try and see the market. All right.
Okay, so let's look at the break-even price for the new launches. You can see Live at MB break-even was about 1,000, close to 1,009. Continuum was about close to 2,003. And now we have Meyer at 2,007 plus. So I would say is a huge jump from there.
Yes, indeed. In fun fact, Live MB when it first launched, it was about 2,004, 22 to 24 thereabout. And then it jumped all the way to 2627 to 8. And that's where Meyer Mansion, which actually back then it did deep price a little, the 26 was bought by quite a few people. And it started to move up, and now it's currently standing at about close to 3,000 plus and 3,1 for some of the two-beders.
So for the overall comparison, as we've seen for the break-even price, area harmonization, both Continuum and Leaf and MB is not under area harmonization. Meyer Blue, maybe yes, maybe no. Average launch price Continuum was about 2.7, Leaf and MB is about 2.4. And for the percentage above the break-even that they actually sold at, Live at MB sold much higher at 27.6% as compared to Continuum at 18.6%. So currently how they perform is that Live at MB is 100% fully sold, and Continuum we still have a couple of units, and we're currently about 44% thereabout.
And that's the MRT wise, you can take a look. For Continuum, is also once again right smack in the middle. It's like not here nor there, near the Paya Lebar, yet 10 minutes walk to Dakota. Yeah, so that's why I use this as a comparative for new launch, although it's a less prestige area. And meanwhile, Live MB 99-year, but why it's sold out so fast is also because of the fact that it's 5 minutes from Katong Park, yet it's in the prestige Meyer Road area and also Otter Road area, okay, which is the prime area for District 15. And then last but not least, we have Meyer Blue, which is 8 minutes walk to Katong Park. Once again, it's right smack in the middle of Meyer, not here nor there, but people usually drive, as mentioned just now. So it's not too bad.
Actually, 8 minutes is okay lah. Some people still consider it as walkable. It's not like 10, 12 minutes, it's a little bit like not walkable.
Who walk 600 meter if I walk maybe 6 minutes. Brisk walk. Yeah, but the key thing over here is MRT is only one small consideration. The Meyer area is really about the name and the prestige.
Yeah.
Okay, and about schools-wise, Continuum is still within 1 km from Tanjung Katong, Head Girls, and Kong Hua. Okay, but Live MB and Meyer Blue is not within any 1 km radius. So this is something that you must take note when it comes to buying this area, but schools are not considered. It's really about the location and prestige. Right? Okay. So let's run through the different breakdowns, between Meyer Blue and the rest of the projects. Okay, Grace, can bring us through.
So for Meyer Blue versus Continuum, I think Continuum, it's a much bigger development, 816 units. Location-wise, both in District 15, but if you were to go into details, then it's not too comparable in terms of the location itself.
Yeah, in fact, in D15, this one, you can see slash planning is Geylang, near to us to Joo Chiat. So it's somewhat like, it's not the most...
Slightly lesser
ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the District 15, actually, fun fact, there's 3 parts. There's basically the Meyer, Alter, very high end, and that is nearer to the mid one, which is nearer to Tembusu Grand area. Okay, and also the Siglap area at times. Okay, we cross over closer to that fringe of District 15. Those are the second tier. And then the last one that people say, it's like because of Joo Chiat, D14, that's when you go to Tam Siu. These are areas that a little more like to the HDB, etc. And that's when, nothing wrong with that, but the key thing is it doesn't have that prestige you have in the landed Meyer enclaves. Yeah. So with this, that's why at 2007, and to justify that Meyer is going like maybe 10% higher at about 2009, 3000, people may still be willing to accept Tam Siu Avenue. Yeah. So there's something to take note about Meyer area itself. So let's look at the transactions. Okay, for Meyer Blue and versus Continuum.
Yeah, so I think for Meyer Blue versus Continuum 2 beta prices, if you have to look at the transactions here, right, I would say they ranges from 1.7-ish to about 1.8-ish, depending on the unit size. And the per square feet we were looking at is about 2006 averagely. Yeah, 2005 to 2006. And these were last year pricings.
Yes, indeed. And if you look at the predicted price, what we did is, there's no floor plan. We don't want to show floor plan because nothing is out yet. But we will use Meyer Mansion floor plan as estimation because it's side by side, very close. And people will like Meyer Mansion floor plan. Most likely also be fine with the Meyer Blue floor plan. So it will get about 689 square feet minimally for 2 beta. So it can be too small because people like decent size units over there. Dumbbell layout most likely. 2 bed, 2 bath. If you talk about 3,001 per square feet for launch, is about 2.135 million. Okay, but if you go up to the higher PSI of 3.3, it'll be about 2.273 million. So as compared to the Continuum, you can see similar layout, 667 square feet. The 2 bed, 2 bath is going about 2,526 and 1.7 million, okay, to up to 1.9. And the bigger bedroom is 721, which can be like a study. Comparable to Meyer Mansion kind of layout, you are looking at close to about 721 square feet at 1.86 million, and even up to 2 million. So that's when people say, hey, this 2 million margin is very close to Meyer Blue. And that's where Meyer Blue may move because of this reason and cause Continuum to like, hey, it's a decent price and it's comparable. Yeah, so there's some things that you must take note when it comes to selecting units. What is a comparative around?
Okay, so you have to look at the 3 beta wise. 3 betas quantum, it's about 2.5 to 2.6 for Continuum side, with the per square feet this year having hit about 2.7, close to even 2.8 already at the Continuum. Not it being not near the MRT and also not being in like the popular District 15 areas. You've already seen per square feet hitting almost 2008. And
in terms of the bigger bedrooms, you take a look, 1,066 square feet, 1,087 square feet, they're hitting about 2.8, 2.9 million, even hitting past 3 million for some of the PSF. And some even hit close to 3.14 to 3.2 million. So this is something that if this will launch, and compared to Meyer Blue, if Meyer Blue will launch at about 3+ million, there's a chance.
Quantum-wise, it's pretty similar.
Quantum-wise. For a different location, there's more prestige. If they launch in the right quantum base, which may happen, that's when it will start to move. And if you look at the layout-wise, okay, for Meyer Mansion, we are looking at 1109 to 1399 square feet. Okay, rationale is because Meyer Mansion by itself is a prestige area. People want a big size layout. They don't want to be small and boutique.
So you need to understand like the profile of buyers also. In certain areas, people prefer like bigger floor plate units. Certain areas, then smaller floor plate because of the quantum wise would do better.
Yes, indeed. And if you look at Meyer Blue by itself, it's a 3-bed 3-bath estimated about 3.3 million. That's the compact layout. Okay, it's maybe something that is comparable to the Continuum on the right hand side, the 1066 square feet unit, about 2.7 to 2.9 million. So this Meyer Blue comparative, in the sense that it does, I call this a null factor, NULL, because at the end of the day, Continuum is in a less precise location. Meyer is in a much better location, but in terms of the quantum wise, about 2.9 to 3.3 doesn't show that Meyer Blue is more expensive or like cheap. Yeah, so this is something that is comparable, but doesn't show any signs of undervaluation or overvaluation. Okay, but one thing to take note about the biggest size unit, 139 square feet, about 4.197 million starting from, it could be up to 4.5, 4.6. People may still be willing to accept, but the key thing over here is there could be a cap. A cap.
Because it's very close to, I would say, the landed prices.
Landed prices, where you can get something at 4.6 to 4.9 million at a condo price that may cap this growth of this Meyer Blue condo kind of prices, right? But as compared to the compact layout for Continuum 947, I don't think it's a direct comparative because it's different location, different area, and smaller size. Yeah.
Okay. So the next one we look at is Live at MB, 298 units. So I would say a more comparable like development size, but this one is leasehold, but location-wise is quite similar. So you can see for 2 bedders at Live at MB, close to about 800 square feet, 797. The quantum-wise is about 1.9 plus, and the per square feet is about 2.3, 2.4. And this, but do note that this one was sold in 2022. So these are like, I would say 2 years ago pricings already.
Correct. So the price could be hitting about 2+ million. That's why in here, suddenly, Live MB, because it's a very nice layout, enclosed kitchen with utility room, quite rare for 797. And 1.9 people can accept. And look at Meyer Mansion, the top out a little bit, 2.1 million. It seems like people are maybe still be willing to accept. Yeah, so there's something that, interestingly, if they really play out right, we notice that Meyer Blue may be something that can move by itself. But I won't say, later we will share with you, does it make sense to buy Meyer Blue? Okay, but how much can it grow further? So there's something that we will dissect a little more in terms of the prices later.
So for 3-bedder at Live at MB, you can see that it ranges, depends on when you bought it, right? It ranges from, let's say, about 2.5 all the way to even 3 million for some of the units bought back last year in 2023.
And the rationale is because back then there was no supply for Meyer, and people are just, I want Meyer area. So last unit was sold at a premium. And that's why it could be a reason why Meyer Blue itself, the developer said that, hey, I think I have a chance to try something and looking at what Live MB have done. All right. And there's a layout wise, Live MB is quite interesting. You have a private lift, okay, household shelter, very functional layout. And fun fact, the third bedroom is actually slightly smaller, in fact. Yeah, but in short, it's around 2.3 to 3 million. Okay, and that's when suddenly you just look at the 3 million, but it's only I would say anomaly, but most are about 2.7 and below. That's when Meyer Blue by itself, if
being a freehold project,
the suddenly seems like, it's decent. It's considered something that people can still accept, but it's only one transaction to compare with. So in terms of totality, if I talk about 2.7 on average, 2.6 to 2.7, the additional freehold premium 300k will value Meyer Blue at about 3 million to 3.1. Yeah, so once again, that will be something that we had to hedge against. Okay.
So next one, we move on to the resale comparisons. One of the resale we're using is Meyer Rise. So the completion was in 2014 with 239 units. So the development size again very similar. It's also a freehold development. So location-wise, where Meyer Rise is right beside is a 3 minutes walk. So quite comparable, being a freehold development as well as being next to Meyer Blue. You can see how much the 2 bedders are actually transacting for. They were selling, I think the most recent one, let's say you take this year at 883. Or last year September, it would be about the 2.1, close to 2.2 million range, with the per square feet being about 2004.
Yes, indeed. So you can see over here, in terms of layout wise, okay, I would say Meyer Rise like to have elongated ceiling area. It has, in fact, a private lift lobby, decent kind of bedroom type, but it comes with bay window and a curved balcony. So quantum wise, 83 square feet, it hotelities, it goes up to 2.1. That's why Meyer Blue by itself, if you do a compact layout with a decent dumbbell kind of layout, potentially the quantum may be similar and allow it to move accordingly. That's why for Meyer Rise wise, a lot of them, they mentioned there's quite a lot of wasted space, but because of the fact that it has unblocked view, sea view, Meyer area, and it's a decent big development, a bigger land plot than Meyer mentioned, Meyer Blue and Meyer mentioned to some extent, that's when it still commands a certain premium to it. Yeah, but in terms of quantum-wise, it's comparable. It does put Meyer Blue in a better light.
Yep.
Okay.
To look at the 3 beta wise, then you're going to see that, I'd say this year there will be a 3 beta transacted about 3.3 million. Last year about close to 3 million. Per square feet wise, we're looking about 2.3 to 2.5 for the last transacted ones.
Yeah, so quantum-wise, I guess once it hit 3.3 million, 3.1 million, it does show that, hey, maybe Meyer Blue do have a chance to launch at 3.3.
I'd say it's like a saving grace for the quantum-wise for Meyer Blue.
Yes. So quantum-wise, if Meyer Blue do it right and the right layout, there can be a chance with private leaf. There can be a chance to push the sales and the price of it, just benchmarking against Meyer Rise.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay. So the next one we looked at is Meyer Mansion. Again, next to where Meyer Blue is. So this one is a newly TOP unit that, the owners are collecting keys right now with about 200 units. So you would see that Meyer areas also, you won't see super big developments. Usually they are smaller plots. Okay, location-wise, again, it's just right next to it, so about 2 minutes walk. And to look at the 2 beta quantum, you would see that the 2 betas are about 2-ish million mark, depending on what the floor plan signs were, right? Like a 689 square feet one, this year 2024 transacted about 2 million at 2009 per square feet.
Yep. In fact, some even hit 3,001 per square feet for the 24th floor in 2022, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
At 2.1 million. So that's where Meyer Blue said, hey, if the guy can sell at 2.1 million, why not I sell at 3,000, but maybe I do a compact layout.
Because the 2 million one is actually a patio unit also.
Yes. And next, let's take a look at the layout between Meyer Mansion and Meyer Blue. So Meyer Mansion at 69 square feet, if we talk about the recent transact at 2 million, it does put Meyer Blue at a better light. If there's a top up bid, you get 2.1, I get something that is decent within the area within Meyer Blue. And then you have Meyer Mansion Penthouse, 83 square feet.
2.4.
2.4. Wow. And that suddenly makes Meyer Blue seems like, okay, I think it's acceptable. If I buy 2.4, I buy 2.2, 2.3 should be all right. But then the question asked is, even at 2.2, 2.3, can you exit at a higher price?
Yeah.
That's something that we will dissect later on. What exactly is the exit price?
Okay, so for 3 betas at Meyer Mansion, you'll see that they have 2 different floor plans. One is the larger size one is the more compact one. Larger size one is close to about 4 million in pricing. And then the more compact ones that sold in, let's say, 2022, 2023 period, we're looking about 2.9 to about 2.3 million thereabout.
Yes, in terms of layout-wise, you can see comparable 1109 square feet Meyer Mansion. Okay, dumbbell layout. Why it took some time to move also is because you can see no private leaf. And you have an open concept kitchen.
For a 3 beta, it's a little bit unconventional.
And Meyer area especially because they want prestige, they want enclosed. So that could be why it's 3.1. So that's why it does put Meyer Blue, if they do a right layout and dine it well, at 3.3 million, it may move. Okay, it will move if it's priced well. And most importantly, if you look at the bigger layout, which is about 4.2 million to 4.3 million, 139 square feet, compared to Meyer Mansion ones, okay, with very elongated kind of dining and living area, enclosed kitchen, big bedrooms, potentially at 3.9 million as compared to 4.2. Once again, it does put Meyer Blue in a better light to be able to move because you can buy something that is close to Meyer Mansion, yes, and then brand new, it is priced correctly. But one thing though is I mentioned just now about landed. The landed cap is something that we also trace to see whether there is potential growth to go upwards.
Yeah.
Okay. So we come to the last slide. Okay, so to explain, yes, it may seem it can move. People are willing to accept.
Yeah.
But the question is, can it still appreciate furthermore? Okay, Grace, what do you think?
I think it really depends on whether it's for pure investments. I personally think going into this area, the smaller unit size may not do as well as the bigger unit size, just because a lot of people that enter into this area, they're looking for own stay, they don't mind paying for like the bigger units, right? So I think you have to kind of be careful also in what are the units that you enter when you go into such areas.
Your unit selection side, I do agree. And one thing that I may be a little concerned about in terms of Meyer Blue is that there's no upcoming land bids that can really truly hedge against. And yes, it can be same price as resale. can be like decent price as resale. But the key thing is, if there's no upcoming land bids that is able to show, I can sell at 3.6, 3.7, 3.8 per square feet. This is something that I may be a little concerned. And that is also one reason why Meyer mentioned took some time to move at the start, because it launched at maybe very high, 2008, 2007. It's prestige, it's Meyer. But the key thing is, it took some time to actually sell away the units until when you had Live MB that launched, that had Blockbuster launch, people can accept the PSF, accept the price, the quantum makes sense, and that's when Meyer mentions start to move.
Yeah.
So this is something that you do have to take note when you enter the Meyer. Don't just go in because it's like, wow, Meyer, but rather understanding the fact that if you enter, yes, for own stay, for long-term hold, definitely it's a good place to stay, a good place to hold. It's like, I would say, a blue chip kind of property. But when it comes to a short-term flip, 3 years, 4 years, kind of flip, it has its own, I would say, restriction. And that's something that you have to factor into consideration. Okay, and never know, maybe another en bloc happen right beside and then things goes. But once again, I don't want to be speculative in that, and I want to have a clear exit if you will go for a short-term flip kind of approach.
Yes. So now going down to our BOA approach, which is buy, wait, or avoid. I think for this development, if let's say, it launches at 3,132, 3,001, 3,002 there per square feet, would it be a buy, wait, or avoid?
Wow. Okay, let's be real honest with this.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Wait.
Avoid.
Okay, why avoid?
Yeah. Okay, I think for 3,132 wise, I would personally think per square foot would be on a higher end. In terms of investment wise, I feel there are better products out there. If you're going for pure investments, of course, if you are saying that, okay, there's an element of own stay, or you want to enjoy like sea view for a couple of years, this could be a balance. Just because the quantum wise, it may make sense. But of course, per square feet wise, I personally think it's on the higher side. But if the developer were to release at, let's say, maybe under 3,000 by any chance, then I think based on the floor plan wise, it's something that's considerable.
Yes, indeed. So for me, if talking about 3.1, I'll be very selective about the bedroom types, because most are going the 3-bedder. 2-bedder, honestly, doesn't really move much over there. I mean, it's not the most ideal kind of layout to go for, and I'm very particular about the layout. But me only at 1 unit or 2 units, and there's something on, I would say, the higher range that I'll go for. But the key thing over here, as mentioned as well, because of lack of hedging of prices for upcoming land bids, unless I can see there's like 3.5, 3.6 per square feet to sell, which is honestly in Singapore market, it sounds crazy. I mean, what we are speaking to right now, that's something that I'll wait and see how it goes. And if it falls below 3,000, maybe I will consider so. But once again, you have to keep reviewing the resale price gap. You must keep reviewing what are the upcoming land bids to keep having a proper judgment. But for now, it's still a question mark for me. And yes, with this, we've come to the end of this video. So before we end, as usual, okay, do join our Telegram channel right over here so we can update you of the upcoming market updates and any good deals that we find in the market. At the same time, if you'd like to have a personal consultation with any of our investment consultant, you can actually scan the QR code right here, and we are more than happy to link you up with any of our brokers to be able to advise you the next property purchase to look for. Okay, and a shout out to the last thing that we really want to highlight to all our consumers out there is to our new launch list right here. We have spent hours and days crunching our investment team, investment consultants, and to churn out this list so that we can find out what is our top picks and estimated break-even price to get ready for the next purchase. Because at the end of the day, if you are more informed about all this news, all this hidden gems, all this hidden data that's not seen to the public, you're able to make a more informed choice. So to scan the QR code right here and sign up for this mailing list so that we'll be able to update you with all this data.
Yep. And with that, we've come to the end. So we'll see you the next time. This is Grace.
This is Christian.
Bye-bye.
Bye.